At a wedding, the bride and groom were standing in front of each other. The bride walks towards the groom, takes off her ring, throws it on the ground, and says, "Sorry, only a crazy person would marry someone disabled like you. And I'm not crazy." A poor girl sees the ring on the ground and runs to pick it up. The disabled groom says, "But our marriage was decided by the elders." The bride replies, "Which elders?" The poor girl reaches the groom's wheelchair. The bride tells the groom, "Your father has been shifted to the ICU and your company is also shut down." At that moment, the groom's stepbrother arrives and says to the groom, "How are you, stepbrother? Your fiancé and your company now belong to me." The bride tells the stepbrother, "Baby, why are you even talking to this crazy man?" Meanwhile, the poor girl finds the ring and says, "Wow, this ring is so beautiful." The bride mocks and says, "This beggar girl suits a crazy man like you." Then the groom looks at the poor girl and asks, "Will you marry me?" The poor girl replies, "What will I get out of it?" The groom says, "I'll do whatever you say. I'll fulfill all your wishes." The poor girl stands up and says, "Then yes, I'll marry you." The first bride laughs and says, "What a pair, a disabled man and a crazy girl." The stepbrother tells the first bride, "Let's go." They leave, and the groom and the poor girl go home. In one scene, the poor girl is eating messily, saying things like, "First I'll eat this, then that." A man comes to the groom and says, "Sir, your stepbrother is behind all this." The groom says, "I believe it, but I have no proof." The man looks at the poor girl and asks the groom, "Sir, what should we do about her?" The groom replies, "She's innocent. Don't say anything to her, and don't take stress because of her." Later, the stepbrother comes to the office. The groom asks, "Why are you here?" The stepbrother throws a file on his lap and says, "I'm the new owner of this office and company now." The groom asks, "How is that possible?" The first bride says, "My baby signed a contract with a big company that saved your business, something you couldn't do." The groom says to his stepbrother, "I always treated you like a real brother." The stepbrother replies, "But Dad always supported you. He thought you were better than me." The groom asks, "You really hate me that much?" The stepbrother grabs the groom's neck and says, "Let me show you." The groom pulls away. The stepbrother says, "You need money for Dad's surgery? I'll give it, but only if you bow down and touch my feet." At that moment, the poor girl picks up a basket and hits the stepbrother, saying, "You're a bad man." The stepbrother shouts, "Move her away." He pushes both the groom and the poor girl to the ground. Suddenly, the poor girl says, "I got my memory back. I'm the CEO of the company." The groom asks, "Are you okay?" She replies, "Yes, I remember everything now." She dresses up properly and goes to her company. A servant asks, "Where have you been all these days?" She doesn't answer and asks, "Was any deal signed?" The servant says, "Yes, we made a deal with the JAJO group." The girl smiles and says, "My husband is coming." The groom arrives at the company in a wheelchair. A servant had pushed him there. The servant asks, "Sir, why did the JAJO group call you?" The groom replies, "I don't know." The servant asks again, "Where's your wife?" The groom says, "Forget it. She'll be fine without me." He tells the servant to leave. Then the stepbrother and the bride he stole from the groom arrive. The stepbrother says, "Since you're here, at least eat before leaving." The groom replies, "No, today the truth will come out." The stepbrother angrily throws water at the groom. Just then the poor girl, now the CEO, comes forward with an umbrella and says, "He is my husband." She protects him from the water. And now, friends, you tell us, was the stepbrother right or wrong? Don't forget to comment below.